What's up, Everyday Blades? Well, as you can see by the title, we got some nice knife treasure here, Pawnshop treasure. Almost. We'll start with this because this is what makes it almost. I go to this one pawn shop. It's about 30 minutes from me, and they're a pawn shop, music shop. They're actually had several brands they're licensed dealers for. Always felt really comfortable buying from them. But recently they gave up all their knives. They're like selling the last of what they have, and they have a few trade-ins there. Almost no knives left. So I seen this sitting on the shelf. I seen both of these sitting on the shelf and made a deal and picked them up. This one's fine. We'll talk about that in a minute. This one, unfortunately, is a clone. It's just ridiculous how good these clones are getting, and it's ridiculous that a former licensed dealer didn't spot this. This is identical in pretty much every way to the real thing, except for a couple of things. One side of the screws is a round head Torx. The other side is a flathead screw, and it's a Allen key. Ridiculous. Also, what that didn't even tip me off. I didn't notice that. What tipped me off was a member noticed when I posted it. The model number said 0350 TSST, which is supposed to stand for, I believe, Tiger Stripe, and then the ST is for assisted, which you can see it is assisted. But it's not, you just barely push it and flings out, but it's not Tiger Stripe, and that's what led me on the hunt. There is no ZT knife that has TSST behind it. It doesn't exist. That's not how they write assisted on there. It actually spells out assisted on there. It says, if it's a Tiger Stripe, and it'll say TS assisted, blah, it's a long number. This numerical and alphabetical setup does not exist. Everything else they got right on the money. Everything's right in the same spot. It was very difficult for me to tell. So I went on the hunt and I tracked it down, and this is actually from Wish.com, believe it or not. And I was really sick to my stomach. Now the good thing is I can drive 45 minutes or whatever back over to the shop, and they'll give me my money back. It's still a pain, it's not something you want to do, but at least I bought it something to be said for buying at a reputable place. They will give me my money back. I'm 100% certain they had no idea it was a counterfeit. So that same thing happened with another pawn shop on the other side of town with these Protects. And the only reason I've kept them is for to show an example. If anyone has questions about these fakes, these are pretty close, but evidently if you're a Protect guy, you can spot these pretty easily. So I keep these around. So let's get to I have a drawer over there with clones in it I've been stuck with, or counterfeit. There's a difference in clone and counterfeit. Clone is when the knife, to me, the definitions are different to different people. A clone to me is you make a knife that looks just like ZT's, but you don't put ZT on there. You put Joe's Knife Company. That's a clone. You're copying the guy's thing, and that's a whole different argument. But when you're putting their name on it, you're a thieving piece of crap. Period. No one should own something that says a name on it when they're not the maker. That's you're aiding and abetting theft. And if it was your name written on there, you'd sure be hot about it. So let's get to the positive side. This is the first SE I've ever owned. This is the SE AGK. And I got this knife because three reasons. One, I like the way the sheath carries way down on the belt. So when you're bending over, that knife handle is not sticking into you. I like that a lot. And even their sheaths are made in the USA. Two, I like the ergos of this handle. It feels really good. I have huge hands, and it still has room to spare. And the other thing is the handle is quite a bit longer than the blade, which gives you a lot of leverage when you're working on stuff. It does really well. This is a 1095 blade steel, but I've heard they do really well with their heat treat. So I've sharpened it, and it seems to be pretty tough steel. I mean, it took a little while to sharpen, so it's probably going to hold an edge pretty well. So I like it. I think it's a cool knife. I think the sheath is solid. If you add in both of the ZT knife and this knife, I got an okay deal between them. They gave me probably $50 off what they were asking, and they were asking, quite a bit below retail. But when you throw in the factor that the ZT is counterfeit, I bought the knives together as a package deal. So how much are they going to give me back for the ZT? That's where the whole problem's going to come in. So I'll go there and talk to them, and we'll work something out and figure it out. But this ZT here, we're going to be doing some more fixed blades on it. There's a fixed blade I really want from Benchmade. What's the name of that? It's a new EDC, a Kane or something like that, or a Dane. I have to look it up. It's a smaller fixed blade. It comes to a real sharp point. It's got one thing I like about the sheath on that one is you can reverse the knife. It's got a Kydex sheath, but you can reverse the knife either way. So anyway, you'll see that review coming up if I ever score one. They want $300 new. I just don't want to pay that. It's too much. Benchmade's just gotten out of control with their prices. Everybody knows that, but I think they're going to keep doing it. They've been doing it for years, so they're not going to stop. So if you want to buy one, you're going to have to pay the money. Anyway, this was my almost pawn shop score. SCAGK and doorstop. ZT fake doorstop. Guys, thanks for watching. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.